When you think internet, what comes to mind? Wi-Fi signals buzzing through the air, maybe satellites orbiting way up in space. But what if I told you the truth is, well, it's a lot deeper. And I mean that literally. Get this. An absolutely staggering 99% of all international data travels through physical tables. We're talking about your emails, those video calls, global financial markets, everything. And it's all resting on the ocean floor. Yeah, not satellites, cables. So that just begs the question, right? What exactly is this massive, invisible infrastructure that's silently powering our entire digital lives? Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on the internet's deepest secret. Our journey starts right here with a pretty fundamental idea. Our supposedly wireless world is, at its very core, completely and totally wired. This is it. This is what we're talking about. It's this sprawling global web of over 550 high-tech cables crisscrossing the planet and physically linking continents together. And these aren't just for browsing social media. They are the fundamental arteries of the global economy and pretty much all of modern communication. Now, here's what's really wild. This technology, it's not new. Not at all. It's actually the result of over 170 years of incredible innovation, and it all started with the sap from a tree. So how on earth did we get from tree sap to transmitting data at the speed of light? Okay, so meet gutta percha. This stuff, this natural polymer from Southeast Asia, was the absolute breakthrough material of the 19th century. Its secret? It was an amazing electrical insulator. For the first time, you could coat a copper wire in it, drop it in salt water, and it wouldn't short out. This humble sap was the key that unlocked intercontinental communication. It made the impossible possible. But man, it was a long, hard road from theory to reality. After some early successes in the 1850s, that first ambitious attempt to cross the Atlantic in 1858 was, well, a short-lived victory. It worked for about a month. It took years of trial and error before a lasting link was finally made. The real revolution, though, the one that truly changed everything, came in 1988 with TAT8. That was the first fiber optic cable, and it basically set the stage for the high-speed world we all live in today. And the technological leap is it's staggering. It's almost hard to wrap your head around. The first transatlantic cables were tapping out Morse code through copper wires, maybe at a rate of 10 words per minute. Today, we're sending pulses of light through fibers of pure glass at speeds of tens of terabits per second. That's the difference between sending a few sentences and streaming millions of HD movies simultaneously. It's just insane. Okay, so now let's zoom out and see how this incredible technology evolved into the massive, geopolitically critical network we rely on today. Because believe me, this isn't just about technology. It's about power. And just to really put this in perspective, this is the reality of how our world communicates. Satellites are absolutely vital for remote areas and broadcasting, but for the sheer volume, the raw speed, and the reliability the internet demands, cables are king. It's not even a contest. They are the true workhorses of our connected age. And controlling these cables has always been a massive strategic advantage. The British Empire figured this out way back, creating what they called the All-Red Line, a network connecting all its territories. And this wasn't just for sending friendly telegrams. It was a tool for projecting power. I mean, check this out. Within hours of declaring war in 1914, Britain simply cut Germany's cables, effectively blinding its enemy and taking control of the global flow of information. But this incredibly powerful network has a hidden vulnerability. For all its global importance, it is, in a word, fragile. Surprisingly fragile. And the biggest threats aren't always what you'd expect. The vast majority of cable breaks are just accidents. They're caused by really mundane stuff like fishing trawlers dragging their nets along the seabed, or ships dropping their anchors in the wrong place. And then, of course, you've got natural forces like underwater earthquakes, and even, the occasional curious shark. And sometimes the threats are just plain bizarre. This is an incredible, true account from 1873. A whale got tangled up in the Persian Gulf cable and drowned. So when the repair ship came to fix it, they had to winch up the cable with a dead whale attached to it. Can you even imagine? It's just a stark reminder that this is all very real physical infrastructure in a very wild, unpredictable world. So, okay, accidents are one thing, but what about deliberate threats?
Well, those have evolved right alongside the technology. It started with the pretty straightforward cable cutting of World War I. Then, during the Cold War, it got way more sophisticated, like when the US managed to secretly tap into Soviet cables deep on the ocean floor. And today, the threats are even more complex.
And this is where we get into the concept of hybrid warfare. An adversary could sever a cable and make it look like it was just an accident, a fishing boat snag. Or they could launch a cyber attack on the critical landing stations, the actual buildings where the cables come ashore. It's a shadowy new front in this ongoing geopolitical game.
So, what does the future hold for this vital yet vulnerable network? Well, far from becoming obsolete, it's only going to become more important. I mean, just think about all the future tech we're talking about. 5G, the Internet of Things with billions of connected devices, the massive data processing that artificial intelligence needs. All of it depends on the exact kind of high-capacity, super-fast connections that only fiber optic cables can provide. Our reliance on this underwater network is only going to get deeper.
And the network is still expanding, pushing into new frontiers. As Arctic ice melts, it's opening up potential new, shorter routes between continents. But at the very same time, we get these really stark reminders of just how fragile it is. Back in 2022, a single volcanic eruption cut Tonga's only cable, plunging the entire nation into a communication blackout, right in the middle of a disaster. It just shows how a single point of failure can have absolutely devastating consequences.
And this really brings us to the final thought. We've built our entire hyper-connected digital society on a physical foundation that is almost completely out of sight and, in so many ways, surprisingly vulnerable. So the question we're left with is this: just how secure can we really be when our whole world rests on a handful of fragile threads at the bottom of the ocean?